I don't know what their situation is going to be on recording, but I'm going to try and vlog this. I'm in a building in Central, going to floor 15 to do a talk on Love Rowing, so on I Belong, which is a rowing program that I've been a part of. So let me stop recording because I don't know what the situation's like. But I'm going to try and ask Matt to record whilst I'm speaking and then make a vlog of this as well. So yeah, basically from what I've heard, some of these people are from British Rowing. And then today's just about different programs, speaking about, or I'll be speaking about how I got introduced to the program, how I got introduced to rowing. And the lady who's been in constant communication with me throughout this all, Sarah, she's here today, so I'm gonna definitely mention her and how supportive she was as a person, how supportive she is as a person to my rowing journey. Because without people like her checking in on me and supporting me, it would be a lot harder to do the stuff that we've been doing.
I think we've got 2 people from the Lea Rowing Club, Ash Segalin and Charlotte. Is that right? Charlotte. So Ash and Charlotte. Yeah, I think you can sit down. So what we're going to do is we're just going to allow people to come up to talk a little bit about the project, and then if there's any questions, I might ask them to say a little bit more about them. If you feel from the floor that you'd like to ask some questions, we've got a little bit of space for that too, depending on how long we go on for. So, Ash, you okay to start off?
I think we're going to go to Shalom actually.
Shalom. Magic, here you go, Shalom.
Cheers, buddy.
Hi everyone, my name's Shalom. My introduction to rowing ties to my introduction to running. So 3 years ago, I fell in love with running, and I basically wanted to get my friends into running as well. So predominantly we would train gym. That would be our way of exercise. I wanted to get my friends into running, and then I went to a park run, which is a 9 a.m. run that they do all over. I'm sure you lot are familiar with it. The only difference with park run and my friends is none of them are going to wake up at 9 a.m. So I basically created a park run at our local park at 11 a.m. and we started at like 11:30. But that was the introduction to running, and then my aunt who lives in Amsterdam, who would come to London every now and then, would come to my run. And as time went on, the run was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And one visit to London, she came and she said, you know what, you and your friends should try out rowing. And I was like, rowing? I can't really swim without my goggles, I don't really want to risk it. But I said, you know what, let me ask my friends, and we're all in group chat, and I messaged them, and a lot of them, predominantly the females, were more than up for it. So automatically, a lot of the guys who had the same fear as me, I can't really swim, automatically wanted to do it as well. So thankfully, due to Sarah's support and the club and the I Belong program, we actually got to all row. So it was a group of 12 of us, and we were in 3 quads. And that first session, I remember being so scared, but not be able to show it because the girls are like, yeah, whatever. So you get into the boat and you're taught by these coaches like Matt and Ash and One Day, and their patience is second to none because our structure is all over the place. Me, I'm someone who trains a lot of calisthenics, which is bar workouts or pull-ups and chin-ups, so a lot of arm work. As soon as I got in the boat, I just wanted to use my arms. So it's learning how to rewire the brain that it's predominantly legs, which is very confusing, but once you get the gist of it, it's fine. Because the rowing club, I didn't know this, but I'd run past the rowing club before and seen all the boats, so my runs, like training for the Hackney half and the marathon. But I didn't know like who attended the club. All I saw that day when I saw the boathouse up, the shutters up, was one person. So them seeing people from like, the Afro-Caribbean community, people from our community would walk along the bank, take out their phones, take pictures of us, start recording us like we're celebrities. But for them, it was just seeing people that look like them on the water. And it's the exact same thing as running. I ran the marathon 2 weeks ago, and the moment people from your background see you, the eye contact, the screams and the shouts, it's like they're your family. So that was one thing that was very good in terms of feeling like you belonged at the club. Then after our 3-week program, Sarah kept in constant communication with me and said, would your friends be up for another session, and would you want to take it further? And we were more than up for it because we enjoyed it. The coaches were so patient, and we all got to move in a different way. So I'm a personal trainer by profession, and the one thing I help people do is move in different ways. Instead of just a traditional gym, and lifting heavy weights. Running was another aspect that a lot of my friends were new to. Rowing was completely different, but it was just on the water, so it was that fear factor that you're no longer on land. So that helped a lot. So we went back to the club again and we done another program. So that was the second time we done it. And these lot were a bit more experienced because we had previously done it. So the confidence was there. We understood that the quads were not going to capsize, that the boats are quite sturdy and a lot heavier than us. So that was very helpful. After that, I shadowed Matt, who's over here, with an indoor rowing course. And that was teaching adults how to row on ergs, which again was quite simple. And then again, I got introduced to actually teach. They offered me to teach the adults how to row on the indoor machines, and I enjoyed that as well. The next step from that was teaching kids. So this is schools in Leighton, in the local East London area, and it was surprising to just visit their schools and see how schools have changed. From when I went to school, we had no ergs, we didn't have gym access, it was just pretty much simple PE stuff. You jump around on a mat, or you do cricket with a plastic bat. So these guys had a whole gym facility, they had ergs, and the kids genuinely loved rowing. So it's something that they'd stay after school to do. When I was that age, the only thing I'd stay after school for was football, but times have changed. So these guys would stay after school, I'd do 1 week in the gym with them indoors, and then the second week they would come to the club and they'd get to experience rowing on the water, same as us. They weren't as scared, I think because they're young, they don't have that fear factor that we have when you get older and you have responsibilities and you're like, I don't want to risk my life for this. But from then, we continued doing the program, and now I'm rowing at the club 3 times a week. So I'm basically part of the furniture, which I never expected. So I go in on certain weeks, for example, the last time I was there on a Saturday, and random members of the club that I haven't seen, or haven't seen since I started initially, are like, Shalom, you're Brenda's nephew. I saw your marathon vlog, you row with the club. And it's just like, so you feel that belonging so much, because these are the people that helped me when I was doing this in the boat. And I'm getting to see them and they're still there and they're still supportive of me. So for me, the Lea Club has helped me do what I enjoy doing the most in terms of helping my friends move in a different way. But it's also helping me pay it forward with the young people within my area that look just like me and some that don't look like me, get out into the water and do something different besides the norm of exercise. So I'm very grateful.
Thank you, Shalom. That was... I'm wondering if there's anything left for Ash to add to that.
Sorry, I went on a bit further.
Okay, do you want to hand the microphone over to Ash? Ash, what was Charlotte like to coach when he first came down?
This is how this works. It was really fun. They were a great crew, and yeah, I mean, I'm going to be thoroughly showing up now. But yeah, that's really just what we're about, really. It's just open doors and challenging those existing preconceptions about who the sport is about. We started out as a working group in 2020. We all sat on our hands with COVID, and we were watching the Black Lives Matter movement explode around the world because of after the death of George Floyd. And we were like, look, we are a more diverse club than most rowing clubs, but we're in Hackney, incredibly diverse community, surrounded by Waltham Forest and Haringey and all these boroughs where we're not representative of as a club, so like we need to do something about this. And we were quite lucky that we had enough people who were interested to do something, and we had a diverse group of coaches who were also willing to get involved, and actually we were quite confident that we could go out and start doing other things without upsetting people. And we spoke to our members, and like, we want to do this, but we don't know if you're going to be happy with it. And actually, it's been incredibly, it's been great. Even when we started out, we thought we had our little, like, you know, our little woke group of people who were like, we're going to do something, but we're a bit scared because the older members of the club, they're gonna think we're doing something a bit controversial, and they're going to tell us off. And actually, we like had a bit of a sense check, like actually, who are we as a club? We are the Working Men and Women's Club of East London, and we spoke to our older members. We're like, this is what we're going to do, and this is just what we've always done as a club. We've always been tackling inequalities and trying to go fast on the national stage if we can. And those older members grew up at a time where they felt the inequalities that their parents had. So like, working class people, the Hackney rowers of the times, were excluded from racing at Henley and British rowing events until the 1930s. And then apparently they're telling me that like class war still kept carrying on until the 80s. And so when we were talking to them, like, look, our communities look a bit different, but we're going to continue tackling inequalities and go and become a national stage when we can, because that's what we do. They're like, yeah, go and do it. And so now, here we are, we've got really great support, we're doing really great things, but we don't have a set programme. We're not like a charity schools project. We're like flexing with our communities, we're learning as we go, and Lea Rowing have been really supportive and allowing us to do that. So we've got some funding from a Rowing small grant, not lots of money, and we were doing different things with it and learning as we went along. And Lea Rowing were really good to be like, look, we can see what you're doing, we trust that you are building confidence in the community, like do what's going to be most important. And where we've got to now is we have just this summer launched a new project with the Hackney Migrant Centre, who are a charity who support migrants and asylum seekers with legal support, finding housing, like legal problems. And we went and spoke to them and said, look, do the people that you support need access to physical well-being opportunities? Is that something that they have? And it's absolutely, that's not something that they have access to. They don't go to gyms, they're not part of sports clubs. So what we're doing now is we're hosting open mornings every month, and we have funding from Lea Rowing to support it for the year. It's not expensive, but like everything costs money. You have to cover people's expenses for travel and pay a coach to lead it with the support volunteers. And all we're doing is open the doors of the boat club and making sure that we're providing access. So we're doing it at a time when we've got lots of members around to come and meet people and welcome them and make them feel that they belong in the club, and join them for coffee and cake. And we'll have people to do live gym sessions, the intros if they want, and then we'll take people on the water. And the last time I was there when we were taking people on the water, we had, I think Sarah was on the bank holding the baby, and Mum went for a little paddle. It was really, really nice.
So I'd just like you to wind forward, maybe one of you or both of you. If this project goes really well in terms of a year's time or 2 years' time, what do you see happening that maybe isn't happening now? What will that bring to the people involved in the project? What might it bring to the club?
So the people who we're inviting, they don't have access to like gyms or physical well-being. So we might be giving them skills to go and train independently. Obviously, if they want to come back to the club and use the gym more regularly or learn to row, we do that all day, every day. That's something we can sort out easily. But the main thing about what we're doing is we're not really like chasing numbers. Like we're not fixing a problem for the whole sport. What we're doing is like breaking down the perception of who it's for. So we're not necessarily saying that those people are going to become rowers. Like we're not. That's not that sort of project. But it's about showing everyone that as a club, our door is open and we have a space for everyone. Yeah, we like to go quick and we do racing, but we have a home for everyone. And you know, we're a proper part of the community.
Is there one question from the floor that anyone would like to ask at this moment? Stunned silence.
Do we get all that too?
So I think that's our first project. I think we've been given a brilliant idea of what it is, what it's involved, the difference it's making in individuals and groups of people's lives. Thank you very much, Shalom and Ash.
Thank you.
That's me, Chloe, Yemi, Hannah. Are you? Lea Rowing funded 25 people, and I belong to help adults from diverse ethnic communities to progress from beginner level to full club membership. Look, that's us. Chloe, you with your mouth wide open.
And then someone, where will they go?
Shanice, why are you not smiling? Everyone else is happy. Look at Shanice's face. That's what happens when you can't control your awe.